So while the Enterprise File Fabric web interface is designed to be full feature, easy to use, easy to manage, we know many organizations still want to have desktop-based access that users are more used to from a traditional file share perspective. So for that, we've got two sets of tools, one we call Cloud Drive and one we call Cloud Sync. We're looking at them right now on the Windows side, but we have the equivalents on Mac as well as Linux. What Cloud Drive does, as we see here, is present the file fabric interface as what appears to be a mapped network drive. So in this case, it's my S drive. And again, my IT user, which I've logged in as, is able to see all of those folders that they have access to, either based on those shared folders or based on the private providers that the user is bringing along. So I can drill deeper down. I can see that IT folder we were looking at before, and I can see that report that we edited previously. So obviously, just like a normal desktop share, I'd be able to double click and open this file. Now what we'll do is actually connect not over protocols like NFS or CIFS, but rather across our HTTPS API. So this allows you to have your users be able to access this data and use these cloud drives, not just in the office, but potentially outside your office as well, or even across the WAN, and not have to deal with the issues of the latency of LAN as it relates to things like the CIFS or the NFS protocol. And again, this is now using my native tools, right? So I double click, and just like if I was opening up through a network share in your environment, I'm able to go and see this file and interact with it using my tools directly on my desktop. I click save, and that'll go and upload that file back for me automatically back into the system. As you'll notice, through the Cloud Drive, we also deal with locking and unlocking of the the files automatically. Right, so that report file, as I edit it, I was able to lock it so that potentially nobody else could edit that while I had that file open. Now on the website, we showed all sorts of features like the comment system, like the sharing, and you may think that, well, that may not be available from the desktop side. However, as part of the tools that we deploy, we add a right-click option called Cloud Actions. And as we can see here, once I right-click on that file and go to Cloud Actions, I'm able to then go and provide some of the additional functionality that we have on the web. Right, so I can come in, I can see and add comments to this file. If I wanted to create that shared URL, I'm able to do that here. Let me just step through that. Right, so it pops up that box just like we saw within that web interface. Right, so I can set things like that auto expiration. I can define a password for this file. And again, because we require a sharing purpose to be generated, I'll put that here for the customer to review. And now we've created that same shared URL that I can then take and copy that across. So that is Cloud Drive, but we also have a tool called Cloud Sync. So Cloud Sync is more like a traditional sync and share style application, where what we do is create a pairing of local folder to a cloud folder. So in this case, I have this folder on my desktop called Backup, and what I've done is created a pair with that up to the cloud backup folder. As we expand that out here, we can see all of these files that exist on my local, and then that is being kept in sync with that folder on my desktop. So if I were to go into my backup folder, for example, and create a new file out here, just create a new Word doc, right? And that potentially would be, something I go and save out there. What we'll do is, on a regular interval, go and pick up that backend file. Let me just speed that up now. So here we see that new file is uploaded, or is within my local folder. We can see that local date, and we can see that it needs to be sunk up to the cloud. So again, this will happen on a regular interval depending on your settings, but let me just force that along. And there we see it picks up that change and will go and upload automatically. So as mentioned, I'm doing this all from this tool to make things go along quicker, but it all works as a background process. So the end user really doesn't need to look or know about this. They'll just know that if they put the data into their backup folder, over the next couple minutes, that data will be sunk up to the cloud. On the Windows side for this sync tool, we do have additional properties that we can set. So we can set things like what direction. So potentially say we're only going to sync data from the cloud down to my computer, or from my computer back up to the cloud, what to do with versioning, what to do with deletes, and items like that. So those are the two tools available on the desktop, Cloud Sync and Cloud Drive. Again, the key difference being that from the Cloud Drive perspective, this is a view real-time into the data that's in the cloud, and when I go and double-click to open a file, we'll go and fetch that real-time and display that for the end user. Cloud Sync, however, allows you to have a local copy of these files. So everything that I see within this folder here is stored locally on my desktop. So if I were to be disconnected, whether that be on a plane or in an area with very poor internet reception, I'd be able to have all these files available real time. And then as I edit them and change them, the next time I connect to the network, we'll then sync those back up. Again, these tools are available both on Mac, Windows, and Linux, both the Cloud Sync and Cloud Drive.